All right, let's do it. It is Wednesday night. It's 7 o'clock in the Lord's time zone. Here to give you everything you need for, what is it, the Worldwide Technology, what the fuck is it called? Worldwide Technology Championship. I'd hate to mess up the name of these great events in the swing season and do them any disrespect. What's up, new guy? My name's James, better known as Degenerate75. I love PGA DFS. Actually, I love a lot of DFS, including football. Good week for the big guy. But we're here to talk about golf because it's fun to play PGA DFS and NFL DFS. It makes Sundays a real good sweat. So I'm going to give you everything you need to know. Try to do it in the next 20 minutes as energy has to be conserved. I am 5 days removed from, getting poisoned. So that's what we're going to do. Get you everything you need to know. You see right there, we're pushing to 10,000 subs over here at Ship It Nation. If you would do me a big favor and just hit sub, you probably have been watching me for like 2 years now, and you don't even realize you're not subscribed. It's right below. Just hit subscribe. Also, hit the like. Don't be a donkey dick, all right? We don't got time for that. Them shenanigans around here, boy, all right? Let's get going, all right? I need to shut the fuck up and get going. Just a quick recap. Last weekend, went and saw all my boys. That's the college football team there at Ship It. Had a great time in Tunica, Mississippi. All right, Tunica fucking sucked. I won't lie. All right, it sucked. But I had such a good time with the boys, we could overlook it. Sadly, I forgot to suck in for this picture. Looking kind of fat, but, we just ate Guy Fieri's. Nick was pumped about Guy Fieri's. It was good. It was good. I ate too much Guy Fieri's, all right? So I forgot to suck in. That's my bad. Always suck in for a picture. Never do a full wide shot. I'm looking like 350 right there. I'm only about 295, okay? 295. All right, new guy, I got a question for you now that I've done my intro and then you've hit the like and subscribe. Have you made your lineups yet? Yeah. You know what? I actually did have a new guy last week. He reached out to me. He's like, how the hell have I never found this channel? It was a legitimate question. And I don't know how you've never found it, but I'm glad you're here, new guy. Guy in the back, semi-awake. He's going to get fed tonight. He's excited. He loves when there's golf tournaments. We feed him. We're going to start with contest selection because if you don't know, it's the first place you're blowing your money. I don't think that contest selection alone can make you a winning player, but I know this. It can sure as shit help you become a much more manageable, profitable player in the long run if you're doing it right. And fortunately, this is the swing season, so sometimes we just got to play with whatever shitty contest they give us. But these aren't that bad, right? The main $25 this week, at least it's 25% to first. We've been seeing a third to first. When they get to be a third to first, I'm out. 25% is the highest I'll ever consider. And I think this week when you want to play, you just got to kind of eat it a little bit if you want to. The structure is not great. We see 10th place, 150th. We always want that to be more like 1/10th, but swing season, you got to kind of deal with it. I don't think there's any chance at an overlay. You can see it's already at 7,000 of 9,400. Still got 14 hours or so before it gets filled. So I wouldn't worry about that. The $5 obviously a little bit better structure, but not too much because it's still doing 25 to first. But you can also spam a lot more lineups in this one. I just hate the idea of putting $750 in this bad boy, getting 10th place, and still somehow losing money because it only pays $500. That just really bothers me, right? As always, I think you should always look at the $100 single entry, the $200 single entry, the $44 club twirl. Remember, you don't have to win $50 million every time to have fun with this stuff. This little $3 20 max down here, $60. You can mix and match some guys. You can probably play a player pool of 16, 17 guys you like and be in for $60. And that $60, you could, win 1,000. That would be great. And there's only 3,900 people in this. And if you're playing 20 lineups, that's a real possibility. So look at that. There's also King of the Desert tickets available, but most of those are pretty expensive. I wouldn't worry too much about that. $33 single entry could be a good little medium price for some of you guys to get in. It's a good week I would say this. I would say make your player pool and see, do you like 10 guys? If you do, then I'd probably be playing like 2 or 3 single entries. If you find your player pool is like, 15 to 20, maybe do a 20 max. If you find yourself more like 25 to 30 guys you want to play in your player pool this week, well, then it might be a good week to bust out that MME, that mass multi-entry, and get 150 lineups in there, right? And I think the best bang for your buck there is probably going to be the $5, right? I mean, if you want to max out the $25 for 150 lineups, you can, but that's like $37.50, and you got to get 4th place just with one lineup to cancel that out. Not the greatest odds, Bob. So there you go. That's contest selection. New guy, second question, coming at you fast. What's the first thing we always check? All right, you can't beat PGA DFS with stupid fucking picks and plays. And I listen to everybody's podcast, and they're full of fucking stupid picks and plays. All right, if you're gonna beat it, that's right. You're gonna have to beat it with something that gives you an edge, and something that can give you an edge. Well, actually, the number one thing that can give you an edge at PGA DFS is, of course, weather. I have my fancy. Yes, I'm rich as fuck. I'll be the first to admit it. I can afford the $18.99 a year to give you the premium weather forecast. We are in a foreign nation. I believe they're in Mexico, down there in Cabo San Lucas, right? Which is off like Baja. Yeah, hold on. Let's zoom out so you guys know where you're at. Look at the little island down here. See, it's right here. This is Baja. And we're going to go right here to the tip. Just the tip. And here's what I can tell you. It's resort weather, right? This is a resort course. And so you get very consistent weather, usually some nice afternoon breezes, and the mornings tend to be softer. But the latest forecast from ECMF, Every Country Makes Weather Forecast, or if you're so inclined, Eric Cole Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is what we use. It tends to be the most accurate for foreign weather forecasts, so that's what we're going to be looking at here. And for tomorrow, you can see it's actually kind of spicy. Got a little wind blowing. It's not going to let up. Pretty much from the time they get out there, it's just going to be a nice, cool breeze all day. Pretty much the same all day, which, I guess if that's the case, you probably would favor the guys in the morning a little bit just because it'll probably be a little softer. But I think that the real question is going to come down to what Friday looks like. And Friday's really interesting because Friday morning looks beautiful. Look at that. I mean, we're talking 3-4 mile an hour winds, no gust over 10. I think this is going to be a course where the winning score is legit going to be like minus 25 or even lower. So you're going to need your guys to go out and nuke this fucking course. So getting them out there in the optimal conditions where they can go shoot, a 63, a 64, because they're probably going to have to shoot a 65 or less at least 2 of the rounds, and probably a 68 or less all 4 rounds to legitimately have a shot to win this tournament on a par 72 course, right? It is easy. It is such an easy course. Wide open fairways, past Palom, which is an easy, spongy surface to play off of. Tons of wedges, easy to putt. It's a fucking resort course, right? No one goes to a resort course to get beat up, right? You go there to shoot a 79 and brag about it and feel good about yourself, right? And you're like, shit, I guess I'll take the wife out to dinner tonight now that I shot a fucking 79. Well, you shot a 79 because the course is baby shit soft and easy as hell, right? And here's what I'm seeing with Friday. Friday morning, you want your guys out there. The all-day Friday doesn't look bad, right? The gusts do pick up a little bit in the afternoon, but I think they're going to get at it pretty good all-day Friday. I would just say it looks very nutted Friday morning. So if I could give a slight edge, I would probably say, if we're really going to get pretty even wins all day Thursday and the scoring is going to remain relatively the same, I think the most nutted conditions are probably going to be Friday morning. I've already brought up over here the round 2, because obviously if you're getting out there Friday morning, you'd be playing your round 2 Friday morning. You'd be part of the PM AM wave, right? And so you can see I have round 2 sorted here. Who are some of those guys that are going to be out during that time? Nate Lashley, Fishburne, Bridgman, The Ho, Wilkinson. I'm just here on their website and I'm just sorting by round 2. And I think the earlier these guys get out, if they could get their entire round in, 4.5, 5 hours, kind of what it takes for these slow motherfathers to play around, I think they're going to get like their entire round in nutted conditions. So if you're looking for a very slight edge, I'm not saying you should go all in on this, but I think, if you're deciding between some guys or you need a sleeper, I think that there's some real value in maybe trying to find those guys that have the earliest possible tee times Friday morning, right? And it doesn't matter if they're going off 1 or 10. I just get them the fuck out there as early as possible. I think that there's a slight edge for those guys, and I don't think that they're going to be hurt too much playing Thursday afternoon, because I think Thursday morning's pretty comparable to Thursday afternoon. That would be my, and these just updated. The Eric Cole Monday, Wednesday, Friday projections just updated 18 minutes ago. So these are the latest forecasts coming in, and they do look a little bit different than they have been looking. Of course, if you're over at Ship It, we have the stone up. You can see we've already colored it to reflect those Friday morning ones with the better conditions for round 2 there. This is what we do for all our members over at Ship It. I am telling you, come January, we're going full blast at Ship It. We've improved the stone even more, if that's even possible, improving the projections, not only for week-long, but for Showdown, because we are the king of PGA DFS. We established that this past year, and we're just going to run away with it this year. So I just wanted to tease you with this stone right here. This is what all our members get. And not to mention, we'll be doing this for round 2, round 3, and round 4 Showdown this weekend. So be looking out for that. It has everything you possibly need to get yo ass ready for this tournament. All right, let's get over to ownership, because this is one of the few other ways you can gain an advantage at PGA DFS is knowing ownership. We're going to run through these. If you haven't heard, the big news is that Cam Young has withdrawn. He was the big name. I mean, what a shitty tournament you have when Cam Young, the leprechaun, is the big fucking name in the tournament. And then I also saw Bud Cauley also just withdrew. He's not quite the big name, but call me maybe. He's out. Okay, so I think ownership, it's just like what we've seen all swing season. No one is playing anybody below $8,000 with any type of ownership because they don't have to. That horrible chalk that we always see form at 7,300 or 6,900, nice. Any of that stuff, it's just not forming, right? So I think anything under 8,000, you're kind of just playing guys you like. I don't think that there's enough ownership down there because you don't need to go down there, right? You're literally 1 or 2 guys down there, and you can easily make a competitive lineup. So we're just going to go over these guys. Doug Gim and Gracerman, I think, are the two that are really going to eat up ownership. I think Gracerman's probably even going to get over 30% with the Cam Young news, because what's rule number one? We know people love to spend all of their salary. People are not going to be leaving $2,000 on the table. So if people spend their salary, they're going to spend up. And Gracerman's been hot, and he costs a lot. I think him and Gim both get over 30%. When you're over 30%, you're leaving me no choice. These guys right here, they are the definition of...
The man's donkey jock, and we don't play donkey jock.
Do that, except when we do. That's right, except when we do, guy in the back. If you want to play him at 30%, you go ahead. But I'm telling you, the difference between those guys and the guys that are at 7,300 is about that much, right? So, I mean, it could be a great way to leverage right off the start. Fade one or both of those guys. It's just crazy to play a 30% owned marginal player. I'm sorry. It's not like it's, whoever. If Cam Young was playing and he was 35%, at least you can make the argument his talent justifies that difference. I don't think that Doug Gim and Max Gracerman's talent justifies the difference. That's just my opinion, Bob. I see 100 people in here. I see 60 likes. That means we have 40 donkeys. Please hit the like. And don't forget to subscribe. Moving on, old Matty Schmid, 23%. This is pushing it. I like Matty Schmid this week. I want to play him, but I think I'm going to be consistent here. You're right on the edge. Once again, I think he's another one of those guys that's going to come in higher than we think, simply because of the withdrawals up top. And I've heard some people touting him up. This man right here is...
The man's donkey jock, and we don't play donkey jock.
We don't, unless they spell their first name weird. That we do consider it. If they spell their first name weird, like Matty, we do consider it. That is a rule. That's a rule. Good job. All right, moving on. Lukey Gloves, Spawn, Kuchar. I mean, I think that we'll lump these two together. I think Glover and Spawn, they're just getting ownership just because people are going to spend their money. We'll be somewhat nice to these guys. They're kind of, I don't love it. They're a little too high for my taste, but I don't think you get off those guys if you love them. Glover has actually been, if you didn't see the approach numbers he had at his last tournament, it was insane. And to me, this is basically going to be, can you stick it close and can you roll in 8-foot birdie putts all day, right? And so if you want that, I think Lucas Glover, if you think that he's going to continue just nuking every frickin' approach shot, then I think you really want to consider him. Matt Kuchar at 19%. But notice Matt Kuchar's down there in that $8,000 range, and he's goofy. So Matt Kuchar, you sir are
the man's donkey jock, and we don't play donkey jock.
69 likes, nice. All right, moving on. I think that Ben Griffin and Harry Hall, once again, a little high, but if they're going to be under 20%, these guys, they're in the 9,000s. You got to spend your money somewhere. We're going to be nice. We're just going to give them, I don't love it, but we're not going to be able to play every single person under 20% this week. It's just not how it's going to be, Bob. Moving on, the Ho, he gets around. Rico, I think that being down there, he's probably the lowest of the guys that's going to be donkey chalk. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to get... Just because he gets around too much.
And we don't play donkey
just because he's a slut. Okay, Hoey. And Harris English, okay, the English returning to Mexico to conquer lands. I think it was actually the Spanish. Just roll with it, okay? Harris English will not be welcomed. He will pass on smallpox. Well, we're going to call him Harry Spanish, so this analogy works. He's, whatever. I don't, we're not even going to call him chalk. If you want to call him chalk, he's just, he's a chalk, all right? So there you go. Those are some of the highest owned guys. I just really want you to pay attention that almost all these guys are in that 9,000 plus range, and they're just getting ownership because people got to spend their money, right? It's not like they're like I've got to play these guys. I think the two that are particularly gross are Gracerman and Gim. I do see them getting particularly high, right? So I'd be watching out for that. Last thing we got to look at, man. We've talked about the contest. We've talked about the weather. We have talked about ownership, so of course we got to talk about the model, man. Because if you don't know, the model's life, bro. Okay, there's life, and then there's the model, and they're one and the same, bro. A lot of people get into models. I don't mind the model. I think that at this time of year, the data going into them can be real wonky. And when you have real wonky data, I don't know that you really want to be trusting the model that much. A lot of these guys have been playing. The courses they've been playing are different. Some of the courses they played, like Zozo, what was it? Was it Zozo that didn't have the strokes gain? I don't even remember. 1 week at a time. But by the way, I see the chat over here popping. When January rolls around, I'll go back to going and drawing from the chat and doing a $200 single entry with one of you guys, and liking and retweeting over on Twitter for a $100 single entry. So, I'm telling you, the show will be full go again come January. Just get your ass ready, all right? You're getting these brief shows until January, but come January, this will be the number one stream again. I will get it going. Let the big guy keep healing. He's got to do his magic, so I just want y'all to know that, okay? Okay. Moving on. The model, we looked at driving distance, off the tee on easy courses, putting on paspalum. Once again, I've already told you it's a paspalum course. Okay, easy scoring. Just who scores well on easy courses, who has good approach on easy courses, who's just been hot in general on easy courses, and who's good on paspalum, right? Because paspalum is actually a really easy surface around the green. I think it makes some of the more marginal players have better results, right? And you can see number one in the model is Harry Hall. I swear to God, that's like twice he's been number one in the model this swing season. What the fuck is going on with the model? Some guys, Gracerman, not exactly that great in the model. You can see, once again, Cam Young, Bug Colley have withdrawn. Do not play those guys. It's this is why I can't believe Gracerman was more than Cam Young to begin with. That's just crazy. So do not play either of those guys. And the Cam Young news, I mean, I think that he was going to be 35%. So that's what's really kind of boosting all these guys up here. Dumpy Bo looks pretty good in the model. Doug Gim looks good in the model. Lucas Glover looks great in the model. A lot of that has to do with his recent approach numbers, right? Patrick Rogers looks good in the model. That alone lets you know that you need to fucking light this thing on fire and dance around it like wild savages, right? Because, I'm just telling you. Do you really see Patrick Rogers putting up 3 nutted rounds? You think he's going to shoot 65 3 times? All right, to win this tournament, you're going to need to have 2 to 3 nutted type rounds, right? And some of these guys just don't have those ceiling type rounds in them, right? They can maybe do 1 or 2. You need guys like EVR who get hot. When they get hot, they just go at it every round, right? They're just like, all right, I'm just going to shoot 6 under every round. So finding those guys who can post multiple hot rounds is going to be very important. That's why EVR has won here before, right? Some of these guys can have a hot round, but like they just don't have it in them to freaking put 3 or 4 really good rounds together. So beware of that. Beware of that when you're making your player pool, because this is not about grinding out and making the cut. If you're like, oh, I got a 6 of 6, it ain't gonna matter, man. 6 of 6 will be great, but like you're gonna need guys making birdies, making streaks, not leaving bogues out there, right? And so, just looking through the model, Daniel Berger looks really good in the model. Michael Kim looks great in the model. Anybody else that really pops? Hayden Springer looks pretty good in the model. Lukeman Listeman looks pretty good in the model. All right. Kevin Chappell. Oh, God. Once again, I will say this. I don't think you really need to dive down here much, right? I don't think you need to go below 7,000 very often. But I will tell you this. Joseph, don't call me Joshua Bramlett, is basically the same fucking player as, like, Patrick Rogers, right? Like, these guys are the same, right? You can pick any of these guys, right? Joel Dahman is the same golfer as Taylor Moore, like the same guy, right? So it's just crazy that so many people will be worried about spending all their money. They'll go play a 10% owned guy, Eckroat or something like that, yet they could literally play Adam Schenk or somebody like that at 1%, okay? Because people just aren't going to go down here. I think this would be a good week, especially if you make your lineups in an optimizer. Maybe just set a rule to leave $300 on the table, because it is going to be so easy to make lineups, right? So, 49.7 would be the cap that you would want to spend, and that'll get you building lineups a little bit different, right? And maybe allow it a full $1,000, right? Maybe go as low as 49,000 with some of your lineups. If you're feeling really risky, maybe do 48.5 or something, because you're not going to struggle to make good lineups with this. And at these birdie fests like this, it's completely random who is going to go off. So if you can get those guys at 1 or 2%, especially if you have a hot take on Springer or, God forbid, Kevin Chappell or whoever it is down here, right? You can get those guys at 1%, leave a little bit of money on the table, and your lineup is going to be constructed so much different than everybody else, right? All right, I will go ahead and give you a sleeper. We are coming up close on that 20 minutes. I see Matt over here cooking a pizza, James. She wants to add pineapple slices. Oh, Jesus. Man, if you'll eat pineapple slices on your pizza for a woman, you must really love that lady. All right, give you a sleeper. We're going to go under 7,500. I think I'm going to go with Nate Lashley, right? And my sleeper this week, which, if you're following my picks, you're a fucking idiot, right? I mean, my sleepers have been pretty good this year, but, like, they could suck, too. If you're following me for the picks, you don't understand the point of this channel, new guy. Nate Lashley, I just like that he's coming off the top 10. He plays paspalum course as well. And I just always like Nate Lashley at a birdie fest, because he is a guy that when you get good Nate, he will put up like 366s in a row, right? He got it in him, right? So there you go. That's my sleeper. One guy I'm definitely not playing. I I mean, I guess you just got to go with Doug Gim. I mean, Doug Gim's a good play. Doug Gim's probably going to do fine, but like a 30% on Doug Gim at a contest like this, I'm sorry, Doug Gim is not fucking that much different than all these guys right down here. So why am I going to play him at 30%? I'm not. The one guy I definitely not playing, Doug Gim, ready to play with fire, because I'm not playing these things to like try to get, like, oh, maybe I'll get a min cash. No, playing to win him. And if I can fade the highest owned guy who, let's be honest, Doug Gim is a marginal player, right? And if you guys want to play a 30% owned marginal player and try to get leverage on him, that's all you, bro. Maybe you know some magic I don't. And he'll probably do great because I'm fading him. I don't give a shit. All right. Who's the one guy I'm playing? Well, the one guy I'm playing, I watched Matrix last night, and I was like, that's it. I realized I was the one, first of all. I had to go. But it was Morpheus that I had to go save, and I realized that he is going to save me this weekend. He is a guy that I just like how far he bombs it out there. I like him on easy courses, and I think that he's actually kind of an up-and-rising star, and I like to get my up-and-rising stars playing well in the swing season. This is usually where they get their card, keep their card, and make their hay. So the one guy I am definitely playing is, we're playing Patrick Fishburne. It's Morpheus. Yeah, look, he's right there. I look good. See, that's me sucking in right there, right? That's what I should have been doing at the party. My bad. Playing Patrick Fishburne. Guys, check this out. Look at all these winners. Yeah, that's even me up there. We had a great week over at Ship It. We celebrate our members winning, not us. It's been a great week for everybody over there. We help people with the process, help them get better. We don't do it with picks and plays. We give them the tools. We do it at the most affordable price. I'm telling you, we have the best product out there when it comes to NFL, college football, PGA. We have everything. And I'm telling you, you want to get there now, but come January, we're going to have the nutted PGA product. I'm going to be doing the stream. We will be back to PGA. We are going to run the PGA streets. Believe me, we have the best tool out there called the Stone. We do it for week long. We do it for round 2, round 3, and round 4 Showdown, because Showdown is a fucking blast. It has everything you need to make the most informed decisions. I've already showed you the one from this week, which was right here. You can see it. This is what the Showdown ones look like. I'm telling you, keep following. It's going to be big in January. We're going to have the best deal out there. We're going to give you the best tools, and we're going to do it for cheaper than everybody, because you shouldn't have to put all of your money into your content. You should be putting it into your contests. That's what we believe at Ship It, and that is what we're going to be doing. Please hit that like and subscribe for me. Help get us to 10,000. Come check out us. You can get all the sports right now for $85. I highly encourage you to do that, because most places that gets you one fucking sport, and we have 8 of them, and they're all kicking ass. So that's it, guys. I got just a hair over 20 minutes, but I had to get you ready. Please remember rule number 1. PGA DFS, all DFS is awesome. Don't take it for granted. Enjoy the content. Enjoy making your process. Enjoy making your lineups. Enjoy sweating. Enjoy tilting, and enjoy winning. Rather you win or lose, just enjoy it. Never take it for granted. You never know how many of these you have. I appreciate all you guys being here. Let's hit that outro. Put them hands up.